Many who believe in evolution would tell you that billions of years ago, life began on the edge of an ancient tidal pool or deep in the ocean. They feel that in some such location, chemicals spontaneously assembled into bubble-like structures, formed complex molecules, and began replicating. But in 2008, Professor of Biology Alexander Manish highlighted the dilemma. He stated that over the last 50 years, no empirical evidence supports the hypotheses of the spontaneous appearance of life on Earth from nothing. Does life really spontaneously spring from non-living chemicals? What are the chances that such an event could happen? Researchers have learned that for a cell to survive, at least 3 different types of complex molecules must work together. DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid, RNA, ribonucleic acid, and proteins. What, though, is the probability that RNA or proteins could form by chance? Many scientists feel that life could arise by chance because of an experiment first conducted in 1953. In that year, Stanley L. Miller was able to produce some amino acids, the chemical building blocks of proteins, by discharging electricity into a mixture of gases that was thought to represent the atmosphere of primitive Earth. Amino acids have also been found in a meteorite. Do these findings mean that all the basic building blocks of life could easily be produced by chance? Consider the RNA molecule. It is constructed of smaller molecules called nucleotides. A nucleotide is a different molecule from an amino acid and is more complex. No nucleotides of any kind have been as products of spark discharge experiments or in studies of meteorites. The probability of a self-replicating RNA molecule randomly assembling from a pool of chemical building blocks is so vanishingly small that its happening even once anywhere in the visible universe would count as a piece of exceptional good luck. What about protein molecules? The average functional protein in a simple cell contains 200 amino acids. Even in those cells, there are thousands of different types of proteins. The probability that just one protein containing only 100 amino acids could ever randomly form on Earth has been calculated to be about 1 chance in a million billion. Researcher Hubert P. Yockey, who supports the teaching of evolution, goes further. He says, "It is impossible that the origin of life was proteins first. RNA is required to make proteins, yet proteins are involved in the production of RNA. What if, despite the extremely small odds, both proteins and RNA molecules did appear by chance in the same place at the same time? How likely would it be for them to cooperate to form a self-replicating, self-sustaining type of life? The probability of this happening by chance, given a random mixture of proteins and RNA, seems astronomically low," says Dr. Carol Cleland, a member of the National Aeronautics and Space Administration's Astrobiology Institute. She continues, "Most researchers seem to assume that if they can make sense of the independent production of proteins and RNA under natural primordial conditions, the coordination will somehow take care of itself. None of them have provided us with a very satisfying story about how this happened. If the creation of complex molecules in the laboratory requires the skill of a scientist, could the far more complex molecules in a cell really arise by chance? Why do these facts matter? Think of the challenge facing researchers who feel that life arose by chance. They have found some amino acids that also appear in living cells. In their laboratories, they have, by means of carefully designed and directed experiments, manufactured other more complex molecules. Their situation could be likened to that of a scientist who takes naturally occurring elements, transforms them into steel, plastic, silicone, and wire, and constructs a robot. He then programs the robot to be able to build copies of itself. By doing so, what will he prove? At best, that an intelligent entity can create an impressive machine. Similarly, if scientists ever did construct a cell, they would accomplish something truly amazing, but would they prove that the cell could be made by accident? If anything, they would prove the very opposite, would they not? What do you think? All scientific evidence to date indicates that life can come only from previously existing life. To believe that even a simple living cell arose by chance from non-living chemicals requires a huge leap of faith. Given the facts, are you willing to make such a leap? Before answering that question, take a closer look at the way a cell is made. Doing so will help you discern whether the theories some scientists propound about where life came from are sound or are as fanciful as the tales some parents tell about where babies come from.